Fair warning, this is gonna sound like a fanboy take. Tears of the Kingdom is so good that it has ruined every other game for me, especially open world games. Before Tears of the Kingdom even came out, Breath of the Wild was my favorite game ever, and Tears of the Kingdom took that game and improved upon every single aspect of it. Back when Breath of the Wild came out, there was a lot of discussions on if this was going to change the way how open world games are developed, and unfortunately, I don't think it really has. The concept of being able to go wherever you want, do whatever you want, not having a linear story path was such a great idea, and I wish more games would implement this. There's only one game that I could think of that actually implemented the Breath of the Wild design into the design of that open world, and that's Elden Ring. There was that Immortals Phoenix Rising game, but that was just a clone of Breath of the Wild, so I don't count that. Elden Ring allowed you to go in any direction you wanted. Yeah, there were areas that were more difficult than others, but it did allow you to go wherever you wanted from the start. There was a set story, a main story that you would need to complete certain things in order to get to the final boss, which is a little bit different than what Breath of the Wild did, where you could do the main stories and get a little bit of advantage for the final boss, or you could go right to the final boss. Now, I love Elden Ring, but I also love all of the other From Software games, so maybe I'm a little bit biased there. I also love all Zelda games, so I'm definitely biased in that sense as well, but the players and critics agree. Tears of the Kingdom is the highest rated game ever on OpenCritic. Breath of the Wild is not that far behind, and Elden Ring reviewed very well also. They're all commercially successful too. Tears of the Kingdom sold 10 million copies in 3 days. Breath of the Wild is the highest selling Zelda game ever with 30 million copies, and I know Elden Ring sold a ton. I'm not really sure how much it sold. Maybe I'll put a graphic up, but it sold a lot as well. So people clearly like these types of games. So what's stopping these other companies from just implementing a similar system to Breath of the Wild, Elden Ring, and Tears of the Kingdom? I know there are games out there that are probably similar. I haven't really played GTA, and I know a lot of people said that that's completely open. So there probably are other games out there like this, but the majority of the time when somebody reveals an open world game, they are not like this at all. I've tried to play Horizon Zero Dawn and Forbidden West, but I just can't get into them. The storyline is too linear, and you can't do whatever you want from the start. There are other reasons why I don't like those games. Like, I can't get into the combat. I feel like it's overly complicated, and I just don't want to deal with it. So that, plus the open world design, just doesn't make me want to play those games. We just saw the gameplay reveal of SpiderMan 2, and I'm sure it's going to be fun, and it's going to review well. People are going to really enjoy it. The combat's going to be fun. Spider-Man is just a fun character, which makes those games entertaining. But I don't think that game's going to be special. I feel like it's going to be a lot like Spider-Man PS4 and Miles Morales with the linear story and some open world elements, and I just don't like that design anymore. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they changed it. Maybe you could go defeat these supervillains in any kind of order, and then it will all come into one overarching story. I just highly doubt it. Honestly, I just get bored with those games. There are points where I just don't feel like playing the story, so I just stop playing altogether. And I'm probably 50% through both Spider-Man PS4 and Miles Morales. I probably should beat them before Spider-Man 2 comes out, but it's just not appealing to me. I don't want to just do story all the time. I think Tears of the Kingdom is special. It allows the players to decide how to play the game as opposed to the designers. I understand if you want to tell a particular story, but I think for open world games, this way of designing a game works much better. Tears of the Kingdom has been out for 2 weeks. I've played it for 60 hours, and I have only 2 of the temples done in the game. I've just been completing shrines and finding Korok seeds, expanding the map. It's just been really nice if I only have an hour or two to not even worry about having to continue the story and just do whatever I want. I work during the week, so I don't have a ton of time during the week to play games, and if I could just mess around, have fun for an hour or two, I'd rather do that than worry about trying to complete a storyline for 2-3 hours. I would love to say that I want every game to implement designs like Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, and Elden Ring, because those have been my favorite gaming experiences for the past 6 years, but I know people will be like, well, that would just get boring after a while. But I do think that there would be some games that would benefit from designs like this. I would love to play a completely open Spider-Man game. That would be such a blast. I would love for them to implement this design into the next Mario game. They kind of had open-ish worlds with Mario Odyssey, and Mario Odyssey is probably my favorite Mario game because of how it was designed. So I would love for them to just completely get rid of all of the separate kingdoms and make it one gigantic world that you could explore and find moons or stars, whatever it is. It would be the best Mario game ever made. But let me know about your thoughts of the designs of Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild. I know a lot of people say that the worlds are too empty and there's not a lot to do, but I just don't agree. That's the whole point. You're supposed to explore, you're supposed to find things on your own, and I just love how they're designed. Hopefully you're all enjoying Tears of the Kingdom as much as I am. I love the game to death. Maybe I'll beat the third temple within the next 2 months or so, but it has been a blast. I want to thank everybody for watching. Make sure you hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll talk to you all next time.